rip my fucking head off and cut my balls off too. Listen to what I have to say. I promise everything will come full circle and the title of this video will make sense. Have you ever heard the saying that goes, all of it's true or none of it is? Or if you're religious and follow the Bible, you must believe in the entire book or none of it? And before you skin my fucking ass alive, I want to be clear. I'm not saying any movie I mention in this video is either good or bad. That is up to you to decide, because I know that no matter what I say, nothing is going to change that. But this video might at least let you look at film criticism in a new way. Or maybe see that film criticism is stupid as fuck. Okay, let's get started. It's pretty much widely accepted that The Empire Strikes Back is the pinnacle of Star Wars. It's one of the best sequels ever made. It has one of the most recognizable music scores of all time. It has the most quoted line of all time, which is, try not, do or do not. There is no try. Basically, this is one of the most iconic movies ever. Okay, now most people are going to say The Last Jedi is one of the worst Star Wars movies ever made. They might even say it definitely is the worst. There are videos out there bashing it to no end. They point out every little flaw in it, from characters to the plot. I'm not here to defend the movie from all that. Those points are valid. Pretty much everything in all those videos is true. Do we agree? Okay. Now if we do, then why do all these critiques only apply to The Last Jedi or even The Phantom Menace? Why doesn't this apply to The Empire Strikes fucking Back? Think about it. Why is it this way? It's because when people don't like something or want to accept something new, they find things to hate instead of look for things to love. So please realize this. The Empire Strikes Back is full of so many fucking mistakes and bullshit, but nobody seems to give a fuck about it all. Guess what? I don't either. But want me to list a few? Of course you do. Again, don't start writing shit in the comments until you hear everything I lay out. I promise it won't take long. I'm never going to make long breakdown videos that take 4 hours to finish. My videos are going to be quick. So here we go. How the fuck does Vader know that Luke is best friends with Han and Leia? How the fuck does Vader know who is in the Millennium Falcon? Okay, he probably knows Han is in it. We have to assume that off-screen between the two movies that some type of spy was with the rebels or the Empire did some other type of research to get this intelligence, right? Am I wrong here? Or does Vader just know this shit automatically because he's strong in the Force? And how the fuck did he even know he had kids that lived? He said in the trench that the Force is strong with this one, referring to Luke. But he had no fucking idea that was his son. So all this shit had to have been figured out between the two movies. And guess what? That's okay. We accept all this. Why? Because it's only a fucking movie? And don't mention novels and shit that might explain it. Those didn't fucking exist when the movie originally came out. And do you realize there literally is no fucking story to this movie? And it all hinges around the Millennium Falcon being unable to go into light speed. After taking off from Hoth, if the ship could go into hyperspace, there would literally be no fucking movie. Vader had no way to find Luke. None. Zero! So for the plot to work at all, the writers had to make it so the Empire could chase the Falcon. And why were the fucking TIE fighters shooting at it if Vader wanted to capture the ship to lure Luke out of hiding? And why the fuck did Han land the fucking ship in the asteroid field? Why didn't he just keep going and get out of it and then get away from the Star Destroyer? Surely he knew at some point he would have to get out of the asteroid field. Just stopping for a fucking break wasn't going to make it any easier. Okay, he stopped to do some repairs. I'll give you that. But it has been established he could do that shit while flying. R2 fixed the fucking hyperdrive while flying. The only reason he stopped was so we could see him flying out of a hole and almost eaten by a giant fucking worm. That's it. It does nothing for the story, does it? Do any of you even see where I'm going with this? I hope so. Actually, I'm getting sick of pointing things out about the movie, but here's something else. What would have happened if Han died in the carbon chamber? What was Vader's contingency plan to capture Luke and transport him to the Emperor? Vader was toying with Luke during the entire duel and could have just beaten him early and had stormtroopers surround and capture him. Hell, Jabba fucking captured him the very next movie. But because it's a movie, it was done this way to entertain us. All movies do things like this. If they didn't, then there would be no fun in them. The Empire Strikes Back is no different from any other movie. Characters do stupid things and things happen just so things can be fun and move forward. So why in the fuck is The Last Jedi the movie that gets all the hate? If The Last Jedi is bad because of all this, then The Empire Strikes Back has to be too. As I said at the start, all of it's true or none of it is. So the point is, all movies we love have problems. Or things characters do that make no logical sense, but they do it just so the story can move along and be fun. I think I've said this quite a few times, so I'm sure you're sick of hearing it. So why is it that we look past these issues in some movies but not others? And I used to be this way. I also used to hate The Last Jedi just for these reasons. You can see my video on it to see more. But some people will never look beyond. And they'll always be closed off to something and refuse to look at things from a different perspective. That's okay. There's no changing Democrats and no changing Republicans. People who hate the prequels and the Disney movies will always hate them if they can't allow themselves to open up to them. The difference with me is that I just stopped giving a fuck about all of Star Wars. It is what it is. All I can do is either enjoy what they make or not, or just not watch any of it at all. So why can't others do this? I'd love to see people write in the comments and tell me a perfect action movie that has no flaws, no plot holes, a movie where characters do logical things all the time. Please do so. I'd love to know what you think. If I had to name a genre movie that is almost close to perfection, I would say Back to the Future. Anyway, so yes, The Empire Strikes Back is a dumb movie because it's a movie just like any other. This doesn't mean it's not one of the greatest movies ever made. I love it, and I know pretty much everyone loves it. It has just about everything you want to see in a movie. So here's my question. Why do we say some movies are bad and others are good? It's an honest question. I have the answer, though, so please listen. It's because no matter how well made a movie is, it just might not resonate with us. We simply just might not dig it. It's really that simple. Blade Runner is considered a masterpiece by many, but I just don't like the movie. It doesn't mean I think it's bad, though. It just isn't my cup of tea. There's nothing wrong with that. I love Gravity so much, but I know this dude on Twitter who fucking hates it. And since he hates it, he tries to point out all the shit he hates that's only in the movie because it has to be to make it a movie. See what I'm saying? We all just have different tastes. We're not wrong for loving or hating a movie. So why bash one movie but not another? Maybe I shouldn't have used The Last Jedi to compare because so many people hate it and will never get past any of it. But this comparison only works if I use something that is so divisive. So that's why I used it. Okay, so after all this blabbering, I think the point of all this is that every movie does things in order to simply make the story or plot work. Even if it makes no logical fucking sense. But we choose to either look beyond it or we bash it. So at the end of the day, it just comes down to how we choose to see things. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll subscribe to see more videos. I have a video on my channel about what makes a movie good or bad, and I really hope you'll see that one. Thanks again.